the first half, head coach Stuart Baxter gears up for a bumper of the new season after a great spell in his first year in charge. We chat to Matsatsantsa sports scientist Joshua Smith about his fitness preparations with the team, and United defender Grant Kekana gives back to his hometown Polokwane. Having helped the team finish in the top 8 and winning the Nedbank Cup last season, we sit down with head coach Stuart Baxter as he reflects on the successful previous season and unfolds his plans for the upcoming campaign as we continue to refuel greatness the only way Matsatsantsa's know how.
Well, when you arrive in the middle of the season, it's never an easy job. Sometimes a different voice can help the situation, and I think the lads were very conscious of the fact that people expected more from them. So I think in that situation, the new voice maybe kindled a little bit more optimism. Whether it was good or bad, it kindled an optimism. And we started picking up a few more results, and the growing confidence, together with a few changes in the way we played, was enough to set us on the right track. You've got to be a little bit lucky. You've got to be a little bit lucky with the results, because of a couple of bad results, we could have been looking very, very much over our shoulder. And so I limited what we were trying to work on. I limited the amount of things I wanted to change, and the lads picked up on it quickly, and it helped us to run the season out in a very, very nice way in the finish, picking up an MTN spot and also the Nedbank and a little bit of silverware. It never hurts. When I went to Chiefs, people always used to say to me, "What's Kaiser giving you as a mandate?" And he didn't. But of course, I understood. They hadn't won anything for a long time, and they wanted to win things. But both Kaiser and the chairman, they were wise enough to know that I will put a lot of pressure on myself to win things. That's what we're in the business for. So they didn't need to increase that pressure by demanding this and demanding that. They knew that if we concentrate on the performance will lead to development, and the development will lead to, hopefully, silverware. So that was what it was like at Kaiser Chiefs, and that's what it's been like since I came to Supersport. And they know that if that's not happening, then I'll be the first one to be getting agitated and upset and demanding more from the players. When you boil it all down, if a coach can't communicate, then it doesn't matter how clever he is, because the players have got to also understand what he wants. And I try to break the game down into its simplest form for the players to understand. And once we understand actually what wins games of football, and we try to control that, then they can embellish that with their own personality. So I think that's what I try to do, and I think if the players think that, well, maybe that's a result of the way that we work. We may not play exactly the same this year as we did last year. We're certainly going to tweak certain things, and whatever we're going to work on, as I say, it's important that the players understand it. Now, we did some work before we left in Joburg, and we're going to come here and we're going to be isolated, which means that, for example, yesterday the players got up, we had breakfast together, we did a morning session, we did an afternoon gym session, we did an evening presentation, a squad meeting of about 1 hour. So the whole day we were together, and the players are now together. Well, even though they're free this afternoon, sitting, talking football, reflecting on what we did this morning, and we'll have another hour squad meeting this evening. So it's a very intensive time, and it's not easy to do that when you're at home and you have the demands of your family, and the family are important. So that's why when we get back, I will give the players a few afternoons free so they can be with the family. It's a little bit of a reward, and thank you for their families for allowing us to take them away. They all had personal programmes, so nobody, and I mean nobody, has come back vastly overweight. Sometimes you come back and you're running the legs off them for 2 weeks to bring them back down to match condition. Well, they're not in match condition, but most of them are their match weight, which is pleasing. A couple of them have lost weight, which is quite normal because you lose muscle mass, but we'll quickly bring that back to speed, and the way that we train, we'll try to bring them back up to match fitness, at the same time keep them fresh. So we don't want any injuries, and we're not going to be training 4 times a day and commando courses. It's going to be playing football, and we're going to be as intensive in that as we can and build on it until we hopefully will peak around our match camp in Spain and then come back and made all the adjustments we need to. People have gelled into a squad for the season and we're all clear in our roles and we're all in good shape and ready to go. Yeah, well, the new players we brought in, we decided that we were going to bring in some new players to balance the squad. We didn't think that the squad was correctly balanced. We had too many players in some positions and not enough in others. We had only young ones or only old ones, and we wanted to balance that up a bit, and that's what we've done with the signings. We've tried to bring in players that add to the quality, not just add to the numbers. And so we're pleased with the signings. We've got a working unit, which doesn't come in 1 week. So it's a job to do, and we hope that when everybody's in place and when everybody's settled and we've done some work, that we'll be just as efficient as we were at the end of the season. I think it's very much a question of building on what we did last season and continue to develop. We talk about performance, and the performance has got to be what leads to development, because you concentrate on the results and that you concentrate on your league position, but that is not always because of your performance. You can be lucky, you can get a penalty in the last minute of a game, but we want to concentrate on our performance that will lead to development, and that will lead to a victory, and that will lead to a good position in the league, and that's how we want to look. We want to look at the path and not the destination.
SuperSport United sports scientist Joshua Smith explains his role at the club in detail as the team underwent some grueling pre-season training following a month-long break, putting Matsatsantsa players through their paces, ensuring everyone is fit and ready ahead of the 2016-17 PSL season.
Basically, the performance of the players, ensuring that they're fresh, and also that they develop athletically in terms of their performance. So their ability to last 90 minutes, 120 minutes, to perform multiple sprints on the field. Ultimately, I'm in charge of their nutrition and performance associated with playing the game. Ultimately, I'm very happy with the way the guys are looking. They've come back and looking relatively fresh. We did give them off-season programs, which they followed, or at least partially followed, which is good to see, and now we just progress forward with our pre-season plan. The case in point behind a pre-season camp is that you want to break the monotony of training. We're going to be spending an entire year training at Megawatt. And so what you want to do is get them away from that, get them away from that environment and take them to somewhere different where the focus is on football and on the team and where they can bond together as well. I think it's very easy to go to Megawatt and then to go home, but in a camp environment your focus is constantly on the team and the tactics that are being applied for the new season. Generally, I run my periodization, and my training philosophy in general is on a 6-week block that's associated with specificity, or the action theory. And so basically it's train the way you play. So I know at this time a lot of people might consider doing long distance running. For me, that's a no-no. I like to modify it using small-sided games and large-sided games within 2-week periods, and every single 2 weeks there's a modification in the overload and underload that the players have, and with that overload then we switch out. So from 2 weeks to 2 weeks there'll be a modification in the large-sided and the small-sided games. We aim to train for the way we play. So with a small-sided game, whether it be a 7v7 or a 10v10, you'll find there'll be tactical components in that the coach wants to address for the session and for the way we play. So instead of running for a period of 2 weeks, for example, and then only touching a ball, from day one the guys will have the ball at their feet and will be tactical components associated with it. So not only are they being overloaded physically, but they're also being overloaded tactically as well. And so from day one we'll be training based on the way that we want to play. So it all ultimately gears us towards a better performance and a sharper performance. Those players are being rested. Jeremy Brocky, for instance, Basera as well, the guys that are involved with the national team. And so what we do is a bit of individual periodization. So we make sure that they are fresh and that it's not a case of them coming back. And we could make them train because they want to train, they've got the ability to train, but we just need to regulate their load properly. So it's not a case of coming back, they haven't had an incredibly long off-season because of national team duty, they get injured and then they're out for, say, a 2-week period. So rather miss a day of training and use that as rest, and they do a bit of recovery work and treatment with a physio, for example, then miss out 2 weeks of training because of injury.
They say charity begins at home, and this was the case recently with Matsatsantsa right back Grant Kekana visiting his former school, Petersburg English Medium Primary School in Polokwane, to donate his soccer kits with the Grant Kekana Foundation, giving back to the school that attributed to his success.
We're in Polokwane. This is my former primary school. I'm an old scholar here, and we came back to give kit out to the respective age groups. This is a primary school where I realized my dream, my passion for football, and I was captain here from under 11 all the way to under 13, so I think they played a big role in me knowing what I want to become one day. So I just felt the need to come back to my school, and just give the kit to them.
It's amazing to see somebody come back after so many years, still remembering their primary school, and are prepared to say thank you and give back to the community. It doesn't really always happen, and that's why we as school and the community really appreciate this. It was amazing and awesome.
The foundation was formed last year. Basically, it's just giving back to the community. I've always been one who's wanted to just do something for the community, especially just adding positivity in the community. So right now we're just trying to give a platform to the young kids, to be seen, because that's something that we didn't have growing up. So I just want to play my part, as little as it is, through the foundation.
I'm glad we got an opportunity to do this really, because not many people get a chance to give back. So yeah, I'm proud we got to do that and inspire kids, to see that actually great people come from ordinary places, so yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
Well, our presence here today should motivate them to know that, it is possible, because I think it was 13 years ago that I was sitting in that hall with the way they were sitting today, that it is possible, you just have to put your mind to it, just work hard, keep praying, and it will happen for you.
It uplifts their spirit. All of us like something new. And for a child, it's even more amazing when he gets something new to play in. So it will definitely uplift their spirit, and they feel this morning they want it. They are important enough for other people to see them, acknowledge them, and give them such a great gift.
It's always good to remember your community and where you come from, and they will also rally behind you, in tough times and in good times. So I think it will stand them in good stead. So I just hope that they also partake in these initiatives, to just grow themselves as people and as their brands, as well as giving back to their communities.
Our children don't have enough role models. And that's why it's so wonderful when we see an old scholar coming back that has achieved so much, with such a big heart, and give back to us. It will motivate our children. It will encourage them to become the best they can one day. And I want to say again, thank you, Grant, you're awesome.
We want to start a partnership. We don't want this thing to be a once-off thing. So we want to start a partnership where we have an annual tournament, especially for the grade 7s, the under 13s, where the teams of the district come and partake, and obviously PEMS will be the host venue. So those are the things that we're looking into as a foundation. We're just hoping to get as much sponsors as quick as possible to make that happen.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing great stuff, and keep growing. All the best.
In the second half, we introduce you to our new signings, Riyad Peterson and Renelwe Letulunyana. And our sponsors Build It continue with the good work and promoting sports development. Matsatsantsa Apitori have acquired the services of goalkeeper Riyad Peterson to bolster the squad as we look to claim more silverware this season. The 24-year-old who signed a 3-year deal will reunite with head coach Stuart Baxter, having previously worked with him at his previous club. The lanky shot stopper who started as a defender takes us through his footballing journey.
I started at the age of 6. I started off as a defender first, a centre back, and I started getting really slow at the back. And one of my friend's grandfathers decided he'd like me to go out and try out to be a goalkeeper, and from then I started going to goalkeeping training, and that's how it all started for me. Well, my amateur teams were Robert Chumkalis, Uneo and Mondio Michos, and then I went to Bidvest Wits and I was in the development there and in the reserve team. And I got a chance to go with the Nike Academy to England, and from there we played a trial game against Shamrock Rovers. They were based in Ireland, and we played a friendly game against them, and the coach was happy with my performance and he asked me to come down for a trial, and he was happy, and I stayed there for a season and then decided to come back to Chiefs, and after Chiefs I joined Supersport.
After spending some time at Chiefs, he decided now was the right time to make the move.
There was a lot of factors in the whole transfer and in the whole move, but I was happy when Supersport, said they were interested. Baxter said, he'd like another goalkeeper, because the amount of goalkeepers that they have here and the quality that they have here is really good, and he'd like me to join, and I was really intrigued and fascinated with that, and I was happy to join. I always say he's like the Jose Mourinho of South Africa, he's a mastermind, and I'm just happy to be working with him again and to build on a strong foundation and a strong team, and to win as many cups or leagues as we can, but just working hard, coming to training, enjoying our sessions, and just putting in the effort, for a better tomorrow. To be the best, you have to beat the best. I always tell myself that, it's never going to be easy, and you don't want it to be easy. There always has to be competition for you to improve your game. And the team's done really well since Stuart's come in, and I'm just happy to be here and fight for my position and really work hard and contribute to the team's success. For me, it's to come and enjoy training each and every day, to push for the #1 spot, to work hard and improve my game, and hopefully in God's will as well, compete for getting into the national team. My message to the supporters is to continue to come out in their numbers, because they are our 12th man. When the chips are down, we need someone to come in and support us. And my message is just to continue to support us and be behind us no matter what. They could expect a lot of upsets, We enjoy surprising the big teams and punching above our weight. So I'm just, like I said, I'm happy to be here and to start the new season.
Donning the blue and white jersey this season will be midfielder Renelwe Yeyele, better known as Modimo wa Bolo, after completing his move to United with 183 appearances for Amakosi and 50 for Bafana Bafana under his name. The experienced midfield maestro is ready for the task that awaits him at United. Here he is sharing his story.
My name is Renelwe Yeyele. I was born back in 1982. In Soweto, a place called White City, Jabab. I'm a football player now, which is a journey that started long ago when I was still attending primary school. And I used to play in the dusty streets of Soweto at the school that I attended at that time. So it's something that has started long ago, and I took it serious as I was seeing a potential that it can be a career for me and can change my life and my family's life. I started playing for Kagisano Masters, which was the juniors amateur team, and then went on to play for Celtics. It was also amateur team, but the senior team. And then I went to try my luck with different teams like Dangerous Duckies, Hellenic, PJ Stars, and then I played for Jomo Cosmos, and then Kaizer Chiefs, and now I'm with Supersport. For me, it was a personal decision. I spent 8 years with Kaizer Chiefs, but I saw it for my personal growth and for my personal achievements. I needed a different environment that will challenge me basically, and that will help me to grow as a person and beyond Kaizer Chiefs brand. And I saw Supersport, they gave me an opportunity to do that, and I grabbed that. They received me well. I know some of them from the national team. Some of them I know, obviously, we played against. It's only that the relationship is different to now, because at first I used to know them as opponents, but now we teammates, and they received me well, and I think we're going to do well, and we're going to work hard as a team. I think everyone knows that he's a good coach. Personally, we worked well at Kaizer Chiefs. He helped me personally to perform well, to improve from the player I was before he came. And for me to choose SuperSport, partly it was because of him, that he is the coach here, and I know what he expects from his players, and vice versa. He knows what he will expect from me. He knows what I'm capable of. But even said that, everything boils down to hard work. I'm willing to work hard, and he's willing to work hard also for the team. They are a working hard team. They have players who have obviously dreams and vision. And for me to be part of that, I will obviously have to work hard to be part of the team that's going to be playing in the league. My promise to the SuperSport supporters is that I will do my level best. I will work hard for them to try and contribute and make them happy as our supporters. I will also plead to them that we need them even when things are not going well. We need them. Our aim as players is to make them happy, and with their support, I'm sure we will do that.
Builders recently hosted an under-13 tournament in Westbury, Johannesburg as part of their sports development program as they celebrated the tournament's 10th year anniversary, giving back to various communities in and around the country.
The Bullet Under-13 tournament started 10 years ago with SAFA. You know, Bullet is one of the fastest growing building material suppliers in the country, and we've now got just over 300 stores. And it's important as a brand that we basically reinvest in the communities that have basically helped us become the preferred choice in building material. Our Bullet stores are basically independently owned, so it's the retailer investing in the communities that have basically been as patrons for the last couple of years. It's not only about brand awareness, it's about basically touching the communities that support Bullet as a brand.
Westbury has been renowned in the newspapers with a serious crime problem, serious drug problem. And when we joined Bullet, Les was one of the first people that approached us to actually start hosting this tournament. And that was 10 years ago. And to be honest, we didn't know that we'll have the stamina to take it through. But we've been hosting it every single year since then. Part of what we want to do is not just give back to the community, but which is what everybody says, we need to give back to the community. It's not it. In our case, this area does have a serious crime and drug problem. And if I look today, if there are 300 kids that are playing football today, that means that there are 300 kids off the streets, which is essentially what we're trying to achieve here today. The second and the first team go away with full playing kit. But the next rung that we've gone for is we've actually taken over to sponsor the league. The winning team of the league is the culmination of where we actually pay the school fees for the following year for every child.
SuperSport has been absolutely phenomenal when it comes to taking this initiative to another level. To be linked to a PSL partner is important. It adds a level of professionalism to a day like this. The Ricardo Cutsos of the world and so forth aren't found every day, but we could find the next SuperSport star from an event like this. We've been quite fortunate to have quite a few players that have come through the program that are now at junior national teams and PSL teams in the country as well. But yeah, obviously with GB, Stan and the guys support and obviously the team support from a technical point of view as well, it helps basically add that credibility to our event that we need.
If you'd like to get in touch with SuperSport United and follow all the latest tweets, log on to twitter.com/